I was inside printing off a label for something I'm shipping, and I look outside and we've got a car getting delivered. Usually they call in advance, but I already talked to this guy and he doesn't speak any English, so maybe that's why he didn't call. So we're gonna unload this thing, take a look at it. I already know what it's got on it, but just kind of look it over and look at all the parts. Looks like he's doing a pretty good job backing in, so I'm gonna set up the camera and we'll watch this guy unload it. Yeah, pretty fun stuff. I speak basically no Spanish, so I already had to type in on my phone to tell him to back in and translate it into Spanish. But there shouldn't be too much communication that needs to happen. But we'll see, I guess. Got the title and keys. So I have never had to pull a car off a trailer like this. Usually they have some sort of winch set up that they can pull it off themselves, but it ended up working out just fine. We did have a little bit of a close call clearance-wise coming off the trailer. You'll see that here in a little bit. Usually the shipping companies don't like when I either drive the car off or pull it off. I'm assuming for liability reasons, but this guy seemed to be okay with it, or that was just the only option. Close call there, like I said. I wasn't concerned about the front because the bumper was already off. After unloading it, I just had to pull it up into the parking spot where I like to put the other ones. I've got my red STI and the WU-TANG Subaru in that spot, so I just like to park them there. It's easy to pull them into the barn that way. This is one of our new barn cats. His name's Innie. Hopefully he'll be in more videos and some other cats also down the road once I get my own. Okay, so 2011 STI sedan is here. This car I purchased with plans to use a lot of the parts for this WU-TANG car right here. I'm putting this battery in here so I can get this trunk open. So the story on this guy. All right, where's the trunk pop on this thing? Now we can take the battery out. Oh, it shot fuel everywhere. That's not good. We'll let that dry a little bit so I don't take the battery off and spark it. So, story on this one. I talked to the guy a bunch on it. He's a super cool guy. He had a bunch of work done to this thing. Well, he bought it, drove it for a little bit, had a bunch of work done to it at DRP, which is Dirty Racing Products down in Florida. And he didn't get to drive it very far. And unfortunately, he got in an accident. Somebody, I think he said, pulled out in front of him, and it crunched in this front here, cracked the timing cover, and I believe it jumped time. That is what he thinks happened. So this car was just a light bolt-on, flex fuel, injectors, fuel pump, front mount intercooler, a couple other things. Nice setup. I'm hoping that the short block might be okay, because if it is, it's probably going to go into this one. But we also got a ton of other parts, obviously IAG, AOS. Still got the turbo downpipe. I think it's a Cobb catted downpipe. And this thing's also packed, absolutely packed full of parts. The guy shoved all the parts in here for me, so that was super cool. Interior is actually really nice. I believe it's got 150 on the chassis. The inside doesn't look like it though. We've got the access port somewhere in there. Yeah, it's just shoved full of parts. Fender liners, roof racks, stock headers, radiator hose, 2 brand new OEM unpainted bumpers. There's a bunch of paperwork for the car in here. Back here we've got the stock intercooler, the fuel or the intercooler piping. I believe the core is damaged, but maybe we'll be able to save it. We'll see. Yeah, there's just tons of parts in here. Got a nice steering wheel. Obviously, we still got the 6-speed Brembos. These kind of look like Wed Sports, but I would imagine they are just some knockoffs, because otherwise it would say Wed Sport. Right here, we've got some IAG rails, some 1300cc injectors, our fuel lines, our regulator, a fuel pressure sensor. Looks like maybe a headlight down there. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. It's got an NVIDIA Q300, I believe. So a nice exhaust. Yeah, overall good buy. Like I said, plan for this car. I'm taking the stock suspension, putting it on the WU-TANG car because this has some KW V3s I want coilovers on there. I might try and find some lowering springs for this setup. So suspension's going on there. I think this car came with the fuel stumble kit, so that will probably go on in place of stock fuel lines because those aren't as good. Again, the short block, if that's good, we're going to put that in the Wu-Tang car. There's just other random things. The intercooler, the stock intercooler is going to go on this Wu-Tang car because this has a Process West. This is a built motor car. So there's just going to be a lot of random stuff that I'm going to take from this car and put it on to this '08 STI hatchback. And hopefully then we can get this one going, drive this one around for a while. I just don't want the built setup right now. I've just recently bought a house. If you haven't seen that video, feel free to check it out. But my money is better spent elsewhere than a built Subaru right now. It's just better for me to focus on fixing and selling or parting out instead of spending a lot of money on personal builds, which sucks, but we'll get there at some point, but that's what it needs to be for right now. We've also got a Killer Bee oil pan setup, and he told me as a 15 plus STI steering rack. I believe that is about everything. Good purchase. It'll be a great donor car for the Wu-Tang 08 STI, and then we'll sell the rest of the parts. There's also a 2011 Legacy GT that I really want to buy that's out in Maryland. The guy's asking a little bit too much for it with a blown motor, but those are a 6-speed, not STI 6-speed from the factory, but a 6-speed EJ255 2011 Legacy, and it'd be cool to do a small build on one of those for a personal car. If I get that, maybe we'll put this STI 6-speed in it. Maybe. That's a big maybe. A lot of things would have to line up nice, but this is probably going to be a short video, but I got to get some more videos out for you guys and keep rolling on it. This one might come out, and then we'll hopefully finish up our Outback project. We'll do the buying this 2011 STI video in order to get the Woobaroo back on the road here. So I'll probably edit this one, and then we'll be on to our green Outback over here. And then we still got plenty of projects. We're selling this blue one right there. This one we're also selling, partially trading for a '06 crashed STI. The guy wants a non-crashed chassis to drop his motor in. So that might be another part out if we get that '06 STI that he's got. And then we'll be, of course, just continuing messing around with our 17 STI over there. And then on to kind of these two. And I also have a down payment on 2 more cars. One of them, I have never purchased one like this before. So I think it'll be really cool. And it runs and drives supposedly. It's just a very unique setup. If you guys want to see that down the road, be greatly appreciated if you subscribe, follow along on the journey. We're getting close to monetization. So yeah, we're close. I don't know, it's probably not going to be much of anything in terms of money, but I'd like to at least get to the point where I can monetize and see where that takes us. But yeah, any of you following, liking my videos, sharing them, I appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. We're getting more and more Subarus, and like I said, I've got 2 more from the same guy that I have a down payment on. One of them I've never had one like it before. It's gonna be cool if it runs and drives. So I think that's it for this one. Yeah, there's not much else to show on this white STI. I will hopefully get this video out for you guys. Hopefully you guys are getting your projects done. I got to get rolling on mine. I will see you in the next video.